いつでも探しているよどっかに君の姿を向かいのホーム路地裏の窓こんなとこに
Wow, it's actually been a very long time since the last review. Hi everyone, this is retroali again, doing a review of 5 centimeters per second. And before we get into the review, I would like to apologise for the fact that there has been a barren wasteland of nothingness for the past, I don't know how long it's been, 3, 4, maybe a month now. This is due to the fact that I myself have started university, so I have not really been watching any sort of anime or anything, to be honest. Been really focusing on uni stuff, gaming and otherwise, other stuff that's been more important. Not saying that this isn't important to me, but, other things have been getting my attention. And Miniman himself cannot really be doing anything. Not that he would. The guy never does anything anyway. You know what I mean? No. It'd be fair to the guy. But yeah, something's happened with him. He can't really get on the internet anymore. Something's wrong with his connection stuff, whatever. I think it's BS, but nah, I'm joking. But he can't really get anything done. So it's up to me to protect what's left over. And I decided to do an anime which really hit me in the soft spot, right in the middle of my chest, which is like my lungs, liver, and probably my heart somewhere. Liver's not in the chest. But anyway, this is 5 centimeters per second, which I have been known to call 8 centimeters per second for some reason, because I keep forgetting that it's actually 5 centimeters. Why is it called 5 centimeters per second? That's the rate that cherry blossom leaves fall, apparently. Yeah, 5 centimeters per second. So this film was directed by, once again, apologies for Japanese names, Makoto Shinkai, who worked on a number of other films before. This is not actually his first film about long-distance relationship. In fact, there was another one, which I've actually forgotten the name of, but I've heard that actually is a bit of a better one than this one here. I believe it's Voices of a Distant Star, but you can't quote me on that. I've forgotten which one it is. But basically, this is his second film, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know his work properly about long-distance relationships. Now, this film is actually in sort of a 3-arc structure. There's the first storyline, and the second, and then the third. The second one doesn't really connect very much to the first one, and it's really the first and the third episode, or arc, or OVA, whatever you want to call it, which really connect the most. Now, the name of the episodes or OVAs, the first one's called Cherry Blossom, the second one's called Cosmonaut or something, and the third one is 5 centimeters per second. Way, that's the name of the episode. Now, it's kind of hard to talk about these 3 story arcs without going into spoilers, and I'll try my very, very best not to spoil the film, because this is a film that you really need to watch, and I will try to keep it to a minimum, but just a minor possible warning that there may or may not be spoilers. I'll try my very best not to do any spoilers. Now, this anime is set during the 90s in Japan and stuff, and it actually focuses on 3 characters mainly. The first character, the boy, is named Taki Kono. Oh god, I got one day to learn Japanese. And the girl, who's like the love interest, her name is Kari, is the other girl's name. And the third character, who's only in the second episode or the second OVA or whatever, she's a girl too, and her name is Kanisamadi. Oh, for God's sake, man! Listen, someone has to help me out with these Japanese names. Someone has got to teach me to speak this language. That's a rant for another day. But anyway, I'll quickly go through the 3 OVAs, episodes, or whatever you want to call them. Okay. Now, the first episode is basically about Taki Kono. He's just in school getting letters from the girl. He's sending letters back, and he's learning that she's actually going to move away soon. These 2 characters, Takaki and Akari, they were both very close, and they shared a sort of long distance relationship. Now they've been sending letters. You gotta remember, this is before texts or emails, so it was just like handwritten letters. I know it sounds like the Stone Age, but trust me, we used to do it back in the days. They send letters from each other, and he's learning that she's actually moving further away now. They won't be able to properly talk anymore, so he finds it in himself to actually go and see her. So he's on this train, and then the snow starts coming down, and then it's getting delayed, and he's getting more worried and worried that the fact that she's not going to wait for me. She's going to be gone. It's the one day that they can see her. And that's all I'm going to say about the first episode, but it's pretty much just that, him trying to get to her, to see her once again for the last time or whatever. The second episode takes place during his like years in high school, where he is like I think he's senior high now. Takaki is actually a archer, and he has a phone now, so it's like a bit more modern technology. He's able to text and whatnot. But the story doesn't take place or focus on Takaki or Akari anymore. It focuses on the third character I talked about, whose name is Kanye, I believe. I can't say her name, but it's basically about her who has this massive crush on him. Okay, and she's so worried to tell him how she feels. It's one of those things like, I can't tell you, it hurts every time I see you. He's such a nice guy towards her and everything. He tries to meet up with her, but she just can't do it. She's a worrying character where she's like, oh, this guy, he has his entire life sussed out, and she's actually at this point where like, don't know what to do for my future. I've not thought about my future, and apparently he thinks he has. So this entire time that she's really trying to find the courage to tell him how she feels. And through the way we see that Takaki is actually like writing messages to someone, and we know it's actually an old friend. I don't really ruin it too much, but it really has some very nice scenery in it, and it's a very touching story, and you really feel for the character of Kiane. I'm hoping I say her name right. Third episode, 5 centimeters per second, takes place in more modern times, kind of like 2008 or whatever. Takaki is now actually an adult. He's like a computer programmer or something. He's doing something technological. He's in Tokyo, and Akari is actually an older. She's not old. I mean, she's a mature woman now, and she's actually getting married. Yes, the third character from the second episode, she's not in it. She's not really seen it at all. Takaki is not really happy with his life. I mean, he just seems to be going through the days, Say like when you go to school every single day, you're just going through the same routine, you're not happy. And he's sort of less happy, He actually has a girlfriend, but you can see it in him and even expressions that he's just longing for something, he's still he's still in love with her, even though they haven't seen each other for ages. He's just still in that place where he can't move on. He's just very much sort of obsessed with this girl and thinking, never got her. He's trying to think what she was thinking. Now, Akari is in a different place. She has moved on, and she actually looks for her old possessions and finds a letter from him. And they're both actually talking whilst this part happening, like recapping old memories. And it actually has this really nice music segment where we pretty much just see like cuts of these two characters. It's really cool music. It's really powerful. The last moment in this film is the nail in the coffin. Beautiful, beautiful ending. I don't really want to say anything about it. Whatever you think about this anime, you have to admit that last 5 seconds or whatever it was, the most perfect ending I've ever seen for an anime. It's there. It's straight there. You don't need anything to be said. That last 5 seconds, that is it for this. There's nothing more. There's nothing more that can be said. Nothing more that can be done. That's it for them. And it's finished. This anime really is a masterpiece. Miniman will actually debate this to me. He goes that when you see it the first time, you'll fall in love with it. And to be fair, that is true. You will think of this as like this is like 20 out of 10. It goes above whatever score you can give it. And he says, and this is his own opinion, that it goes, after a while, the film does die out, and it doesn't feel as emotionally impact as when you first see it. And to be fair, that is a little true. When you first see it, you're just like gobsmacked by this film, even though I've heard that his previous one was a much stronger film. If you haven't seen this guy's previous work about, long distance relationship and whatnot, this is a fantastic place to start. It's a brilliant story about long distance relationships, and if you are a person in a sort of situation where you're like, you have a lover or a boyfriend or someone you care deeply about so far away from you, you can totally relate to this film. It sort of speaks to you emotionally, and you just look at it and you're thinking, well, this is where I could end up. There is one thing I can say about this film, is that whether or not you take it as a good thing or a bad thing, it sacrifices story for character development. Think about it a little bit. Throughout this entire thing, there really is no story to this. Very sort of lacking in story, if you will. It really, really focuses more on the narrative of these characters, with their monologuing or narration or whatever you want to call it, which actually builds its character development. It has a lot more strong emotions and much more better character development than it actually does story. And to me, that's fantastic. I love the fact that, it doesn't have to be set around this whole sort of scenario, whatever. It's just these characters, talking or narrating. We're feeling what they're feeling. It really is. It really does sink you into his character, and you really feel for him. Some might say that this film could have been longer. This film is actually like an hour and 20 minutes, if that, to be honest. I mean, each episode is probably about 20 to 30 minutes long. What's the full running time? 65 minutes. Hell, it's only 1 hour 5 minutes long. But in that 1 hour 5 minutes, it really sucks you in to the characters and the relationship between these characters. You really feel for it. You fall in love with it. And to be honest, 1 hour 5 minutes is just enough to tell this story. It's a fantastic piece of anime, and I think that everybody should actually see this one time or another. It's been critically acclaimed, and there are people out there who, of course, will say that it's not as good as it is. But to be honest, just go in there, watch it. You're going to love it the first time. I mean, maybe later on you probably find that, it's not that good, but the first time you watch it, you're going to be amazed by it. You're going to love this to death. And I'm actually interested in actually watching this guy's previous work about long-distance relationships, because if he did that better than this, then I'm going to be in a hell of a ride. I'll probably start crying rainbows or something. So, what's my final score? I have to say, I love this so much. I mean, many people can relate to this if they've actually been in this sort of situation. I can sort of relate to it a bit, but, that might go towards biasy a bit. But to be honest, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of anime. I mean, some of the sets and the environments and just the way it looks is so beautiful. There's some beautiful scenery in this film. And, there's moments where it's just quiet and it's lovely. It's absolutely brilliant. I wish I had this on Blu-ray now just to see the quality that it is. Oh, the OST is brilliant. It is so moving. A lot of it is just instrumental, like sad piano keys or whatever. The only time there's actually any sort of lyrical stuff is like during the end, where they had that one sort of montage scene at the end with the music. And even then, that music's really emotional and powerful. A lot of this OST is just like sort of like pianos or whatever. Really helped to set the tone of this anime, and I think that if I had to give it a score, I'd probably say a 9 out of 10, pushing a 10, which is what, like 4.5 stars or something. This is a must watch. You pick it up, buy it. You can probably get it for like £5 now in like HMV or something. Pick it up, go watch it, go enjoy it, and that's all, and see you next time.